Don't threaten me with the good time. What day is it?
It's Thursday.
We're not ready for that. We're not ready for. Oh my gosh! What the heck?
Well, you're on YouTube.
I'm on Facebook too, man. That makes us a great.
Are you? I'm not seeing the Facebook feed yet.
It's there.
There
Man.
it is.
It's there. Everybody's gonna get notified right now. Oh my gosh, what happened here?
All righty. Good morning, San Martin.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's me, San Martin, and Eric Knight, joined with MJ Smith. This is one of those moments where you're just like, what in the world just happened to us? And this is what's going to happen to Eric. You're going to tell us what day it is, because that's just how we start our days. If anybody watches, they acknowledge that they can't start their day without Eric.
Cannot start the day without it. Nope. All right. So today is National Cat Day. Do you have a cat, San Martin?
I do.
Do you?
The problem is that we technically do not know his name. Good thing, because obviously everybody can call the kitty and be like, oh, you know my name. Actually, he does have a name, but it's extensive. It's like an Italian Mexican name combined into one. And I don't know, guys. I really honestly am kind of confused sometimes when it comes down to this.
Well, you get to celebrate your cat today. At least you know, is it a boy or a girl?
That's the other funny part. Like, this is a girl, and then we were like under the influence that it was a boy, and I'm like, what in the world is really going on with this story? But anyways, doctors say
good for you for adopting a cat.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. But anyway, this is one of those good mornings right now where you are literally trying to figure out how to run freaking Instagram. Oh, I'm so upset with Instagram.
Hey, we got Facebook working and YouTube working and probably like 3 other things working. You're pushing your luck if you want Instagram to work too. Well, good. Let's roll right into it. So you said we have MJ Smith on.
Yes, we do. Good morning, MJ Smith. How are you doing this fine day?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on today.
No worries. Eric, man, this is your person that you brought on here. I have
All right.
But I want Eric to get through with this one before I start going into it. Go
ahead.
All
right. Sounds good. So, hey, MJ, so Prescott Downtown Partnership. In my view, you guys are even more active than the chamber with all the stuff going on. So can you tell everybody, because I don't think most people know everything that goes on behind the scenes and what all you do. So can you tell everybody what the Prescott Downtown Partnership does?
So we are a merchant organization that is geared towards the downtown community. So we have 100 member businesses that range from retail, hospitality, you name it. If they have a business downtown, they're most likely one of our members. And my job as the executive director is to advocate on their behalf, both locally and at the state level. And then also we manage the contract for Yavapai County to manage all of the events at the Yavapai County Courthouse Plaza. So any of the art shows that you see down there, or summer concert series, the holiday lighting coming up, all of that falls under our purview.
I totally forgot about it. Not only do you guys do all the holiday stuff, but the every time you see tents, for the most part, downtown at the courthouse, that's you guys.
Yeah. So we oversee, we manage all of them. So even if it's an outside promoter who comes in to put it on, we make sure that they're following the guidelines that allows the courthouse to remain sustainable. Taking care of the grass, taking care of the land itself, being sure that they're not being disrespectful when they're here, that they're storing oil properly so that it's not, leaving a mark and marring this beautiful gem that we have downtown.
That is awesome. Yeah, you don't think about all that goes into it that you have to do. And I've seen your team running around like after the summer concerts, even changing the trash out for the county, making sure that
we want to keep it. We want to keep it clean. This is our house, so to speak. It really, when I say it's the gem of Yavapai County, I 100% believe that. It's what gives our downtown the history and the vitality and that energy that is unique to downtown Prescott. So we try very hard to take care of it. Yavapai County has an incredible staff over there that puts their blood, sweat, and tears into keeping it green all year long and keeping those trees healthy. I mean, we're talking about 200-year-old trees down here that they're making sure are still viable from year to year. So yeah, they put a lot of time and energy into that.
Cool. So what is your role there?
So I'm the executive director. It's a full-time position. We have an assistant director as well. So 2 full-time positions. And then we rely on a very active board of directors volunteering their time, community members volunteering their time, and temporary staff members.
Cool. And I know San Martin's itching to get a question in here, but I know he wants to talk about the concerts this summer because that was a lot of fun.
So I'm really proud of the concert series this year. You know, when we launched that, our first concert was supposed to be June 2nd. And, you know, we were knee deep in pandemic at that point, and nobody knew how long this was going to be lasting or if it was going to be, you know, if there was an end in sight, because we were still pretty new to it, you know, in June. And we met with county health department and we came up with a plan of a way that we felt like we could do it safely and responsibly, but still offer people a low risk way to socialize a little bit through the summer. You know, kids had been out of school for quite some time. People had been home from work. They were feeling very isolated. So my board felt very strongly that it was something we needed to give the community, and the community rallied. They came out fully in support of Summer Concert Series. We saw incredibly strong numbers, and I'm proud to say that there have been 0 cases contract traced to any of our outdoor events that we've done this season. So, you know, we did figure out that there's a way to still do these sorts of things outdoors and to offer this to people without being irresponsible and without jeopardizing public health. So I'm very, very proud of the Summer Concert Series.
And was it expanded this year because it seemed like it went longer, or was it just kind of like the backlog was moved forward?
There were 2 weeks in July that we had to cancel because that's when Arizona's numbers were peaking. And so we had postponed those dates and ran into September. So that's why you saw those shows into September.
I've got to say the weather was still great in September. And so now that you know you can do it later in the year, what about next year? Any thoughts maybe doing a little bit longer series?
We've talked about it. So yeah, we're looking at that. I loved September. The weather was incredible. It was actually nicer in September than it was in June. And for this year in 2020, with kids not being back in school yet, people really took advantage of those September dates. But I don't know if we would see that so much in a normal year when life starts to get back to normal after the summer in September. So it is something we're talking about for 2021.
Well, it was awesome. I know we enjoyed it. I saw San Martin out there a bunch of times, and I think that's where he ran into you too.
Yes, it was actually one of the cool things about it is that you grab some food from downtown, go to the park, and just sit there and enjoy just yourselves. You know, obviously during the COVID-19, that was a lot of like enjoying yourselves and also your company, meaning family or friends or whatever, that you wanted to go ahead and keep that circle tight. So it was beautiful to head downtown. You know, I've been doing it for a lot of years, you know, 40 plus years I've been here. And I love taking naps down there. I love hanging out there. Now, when they start bringing the Creek Walk, how is that going to affect you, MJ, or the Downtown Business Partnership? Are you guys going to go ahead and be a part of those events that are happening on the Creek Walk, knowing that the county does not want these type of activities on their lawn anymore? Is that something that you guys are looking into? Are you guys going to be a part of it? Are we going to extend the downtown scenario to basically the Prescott districts, so we could have some, like, you know, people acknowledging, you know, this is something that I've been talking with a lot of the downtown businesses, and also the downtown seems to be more extensive because they extended the entertainment district all the way down to Carlton Street, which is basically where you guys are headed down after the light parade, you know, so the light parade goes around that way. So are you doing any kind of like interaction with the Creek Walk, the Creek, what do you call it? What was it called, Eric? The Creek.
It's I know it's the Creek Revitalization Project.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not that the county doesn't want to have events there anymore. They just want to be sure that they're not overbooking it, where we're doing damage to the lawn and the grounds over the course of the season. So every year they take 6 months off to let it kind of, you know, revitalize and rest, and then in time for our next season to start. But yeah, we are not so the downtown partnership is not restricted to the courthouse plaza. We do things offsite as well. So as things develop and as they grow, we certainly will work with the city of Prescott, we'll work with the Chamber of Commerce, we'll work with Yavapai County to ensure that we're using things to the best of our ability, that we're showcasing Prescott and showing our visitors and our community alike Prescott's best side. So they're, depending on the event or what we have planned, we have different locations that fit those either better or maybe more successfully. So we'll use the progress in that same way. We'll find, all right, what event works best right here, and then we'll put it right there. I don't see things like summer concert series and some of those other events moving off of the courthouse grounds. You've been down there. It just would not be the same experience if you weren't on the grass, under the trees, beautiful night, outdoors. There's just not another location that would play as well as the courthouse for something like summer concert series.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Now, when you guys get ready for the holiday season, how stressful is this? I mean, come on, this. Right now, you guys are working diligently with Jersey Lilies on raising the money for the lights. How's that going?
Well, let's just talk about the fact that Jersey Lily and 18 volunteers raises nearly 50% of the courthouse lighting budget. Did you know that? Did you know that that is,
let me know.
For someone fairly new to the market, that's craziness to me. I mean, that is just awesome craziness to me that you have 18 volunteers who shoulder the biggest burden for our biggest event of the year, the courthouse.
Well, and when you see how many people that end up down there too, I mean, during the normal courthouse lighting, like it's shoulder to shoulder every street all the way around, and that few of people are the ones that are responsible for making it happen.
And they're all volunteers. It is a beautiful thing, and the community really rallies behind it because there are events that people like or they don't like, or maybe it's their thing or it's not, but no one says, we don't need the courthouse light. Everybody loves the courthouse lighting. Everybody. I have not encountered one jaded person who was like, we don't need those lights on. The entire community rallies. They love it. And so they really support Jersey Lily in their efforts. And the fact that Jersey Lily has been doing it so long, I mean, it's a testament to this community and how much they love the event.
Well, and I don't think people realize how much work goes into it. We see those lights going up in almost end of September, and they don't fully come down to almost March.
Yes, so most of the trees are wrapped and ready right now. We'll put the rest of the decor on the courthouse on Veterans Day because we have to do it when the courts are closed. That's sometimes people forget that it's an actual operating courthouse. It's taking care of court business Monday through Friday. So I can't be in there with putting things on the sides of the courthouse, while court's in session. So we get the rest of the decor up on November 11th. And then the lights will go on December 5th. So, it's a couple of months solid of work to get those up, get the lights on the buildings, because we also do the lights around the plaza on the buildings, and making sure, when we're talking about these historical buildings, people may not consider the fact that they were built before power was installed. So we have to deal with a lot of power issues when we're pulling that much. And so there's a lot that goes into it.
That makes sense. That's a good thing to segue into. There's been a lot of confusion, right, about what events are going to be on for the holidays and what events are going to be off. So now's the time to clear that up for everybody local, or even people that are traveling here. What's happening? What's on? What's not? And when is it happening?
Okay, so we're going to kick things off with the Holiday Light Parade on November 28th. It's at 6 o'clock, November 28th. It runs from basically Mile High Field, up Carlton, down Willis, and then back down Montezuma. So we extend the parade route a little bit so that people can spread out a little farther, and we're not having that congestion. The footprint is plenty big enough if people will just spread along the whole thing. So that's our big kickoff, followed by the bonfire party at Mile High Field, which will have food trucks. We'll have Santa. He's going to read a story around the bonfire. Prescott Fire Department comes out and builds the bonfire for us. All the parade floats will be on display, so you can walk through and see them up close and personal. We have some kids games, the reindeer races, so lots of fun stuff. And that's our big kickoff for the holiday events. November 28th, 6 o'clock.
And that's
All day
that's
lights.
Thanksgiving. That's Thanksgiving weekend, right?
The
Just so
Saturday
people
after.
know.
So while your
Okay.
family's here visiting, or you've done your Black Friday stuff, you came downtown and shopped for Small Business Saturday, stick around, see the parade, come to the Bonfire Festival, have some hot cocoa, listen to a story from Santa, maybe get your pictures and that kind of thing. And then the following Saturday, which is December 5th, the Christmas parade will take place at 1 o'clock. And that's put on by the Chamber of Commerce. And Grand Marshal this year is Mayor Mangarelli. So he'll be out there leading that parade. And then at 5 o'clock, the festivities start for the courthouse lighting. And that'll take place on the north side of the courthouse there. And we'll turn the lights on. And lights will be on through, I believe it's Martin Luther King Day in January. And then we'll start taking them down after that. So you have plenty of time and all the whole month of December to come out and see those lights and get your family photos. We've got some cool things happening with the lights this year. We've had to adapt a little bit, but I think people will really, really enjoy it. And then Acker Night. This is the big one. Prescott's finest night, right? I mean, it raises money for music education. Very important thing. The Acker committee did not want to cancel because that means losing the scholarships for next year's students. So we're adapting it this year. We want to make it safe. We want to do it responsibly. So there won't be the musicians in the stores the way that you're used to seeing them. We're going to try to keep all of that outdoors because we have learned that gatherings outdoors are inherently less risky. During COVID than those indoors. So we're going to try to keep as much outside as we can. Plan to close Montezuma, and there will be acts along Montezuma, and there will be acts at the Courthouse Plaza this year. So instead of placing them inside a lot of the businesses, you're going to find them outdoors. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's still taking place, a bigger footprint. People can still enjoy the music and that camaraderie and the tradition of the event, but just doing it in a little different way for 2020.
Tell us, okay, so we've been talking about it forever. We obviously seen that the alley has gotten the name, Wine Whiskey Row. So I know this is something that probably wasn't on subject, but tell the people, what are the future plans for the alleyway? I'm dying to know. I know Sherry over there is Back Alley Wine Bar, and then now we got the tequila tasting bar, and then we obviously have some mimosas sitting back there. Oh, also with the board and brush. I mean, there's stuff that is going in that alleyway, and what's happening there? Tell us, like, if there's any future plans. Is there going to be events already planned? Like, let's hear about it.
So the alleyway is about a third of the way completed. We've got the arches up with the sign, they put the light poles in, lights still have to be strung. And then there's some more art that'll go throughout. There's some more murals that are coming that are still yet to come. The alley eventually will become part of event footprint. So it may not host the entire event, but it's going to be included. We have a lot of businesses that, whether they have a patio out back or they want to extend their bars into the alleyway to extend their premises to make sure they have higher occupancy, especially right now while they're still under certain restrictions. So eventually it's going to become part of the energy of that whole downtown. But it's not quite there yet. It's getting there, but it's just not quite there yet.
So that's awesome. I mean, it was something that was brought to my attention by the what was his name that came into town? He was
Ron Drake.
Yeah, Ron Drake.
Ron Drake.
Some way I was like chatting with him. He was like, "I'm going to give you an idea. You go to the city and run with it." And I'm like, "Okay." So I went. Like, we're not ready for that yet. I'm so sorry. I was like, wah, wah, wah. So I'm really anticipating that moment when that alleyway opens up because, that is crazy. Why not have a big old huge party in the alleyway? I think all the people downtown would enjoy that. I mean, just curiosity even. I mean, food trucks lined up and just the normal food that's down there. That's a great idea. I love it. I love the idea. I mean,
There's some logistics that we're working through, but City Council fully supports it. They really would like to see. So we're working through them. We're going to get there. We'll get there. We're just not quite there yet.
Yes. And you know what, MJ, I think that you guys should also take over the top story of the car thing and have like literally like, I don't know, we'll call it sunlight dancing or sunlight musical or something. And we'll just be up there on the top of the car.
The parking garage.
garage, because that thing doesn't get used. It just gets blocked off. And nobody goes up there. I mean, it should be utilized. That's a
That's where
whole.
they shoot off the fireworks, San Martin.
Exactly. We got to keep it bare so we can keep those. And that's the last thing I didn't talk about for the holidays is we are doing the boot drop. So
Okay.
right now, boot drop is in planning stages. They're going to planning to do the 10 o'clock and the midnight drop. And with it being, before we did all of these, I want to preface all of this with, we sat down with Yavapai County, with the City of Prescott officials, and with Yavapai Community Health Services. Because the last thing that we want is for the community to think that we are just barreling ahead and not being responsible in our planning and not considering, what's going on globally as far as COVID-19. So it has taken a front seat in all of the conversations that we've had, ensuring that we're moving forward responsibly and safely. And like I mentioned earlier, one thing we know is we have data, we have actual factual data showing that these outdoor events have not impacted our numbers at all. So we feel safe with what we're doing for the holidays. We're including hand wash and hand sanitizer stations in everything that we do. There is no reason that you shouldn't be able to clean or sanitize your hands within 15 to 30 feet of where you're standing at any of these events. We've increased bathroom sanitation to ensure that they're being cleaned every 30 minutes at any event that PDP is doing. The restrooms are being cleaned every 30 minutes, ensuring that sanitization is a top priority. We're also expanding the footprint, reminding people, if you didn't come with them, stay 6 feet away. We can continue to do these things if the community also does their part, which means wearing masks if we are, in a congested area, staying 6 feet away from people that you didn't come with. If you're not feeling well, stay home. We have live streamed everything. The entire summer concert series, we live stream, so that people, if they are in one of those higher risk categories, for complications, they don't have to take the risks and they can still feel connected to their communities. If they have been tested and found positive for COVID-19, or if they're waiting results, they don't have to do these risky behaviors in order to still feel connected. So we just
MJ, I got to ask, because
Sure.
I've heard a rumor that some of these, like the light parade and I know the other parades normally live streamed, but I heard some of these events will be live streamed as well for those people that either don't feel up to it or they don't like the cold. Is that true?
That's true. Yes. So the holiday light parade, the Christmas parade, the holiday courthouse lighting, and the boot drop, everything will be live streamed. So you don't feel like if you're not feeling well, or even if you're just nervous about being in crowds, that you have to come out to be part of it, because we are making it easy for people to still be present without having to be there physically. Prescott Pro Sound has done an incredible job for us with live streaming the summer concert series. I don't know if you got to see any of those live streams, but they had multiple camera angles. They ran it through a separate board, so the sound was good. It wasn't like I was just out there with my cell phone, taking video. They did a really, really incredible job for us, and they're going to be doing the parades and such coming into the holidays.
Excellent. Cool. Okay. I have one more big question for you before we let you go. And I'm part of the Prescott Downtown Partnership, and we get lots of surveys and lots of communication from you guys. How are the local businesses doing, and how can the community really kind of step up to make sure that they survive this holiday season?
So we are not seeing the tourism numbers that we normally do. But I will say that our locals and our local community have kept these businesses afloat since April. They have really rallied behind our downtown businesses, and it's been a beautiful thing to see. I think the big thing is to remember to shop small this holiday season. We have incredible retailers downtown, and food and beverage too, if you want to go with gift certificates. But if you haven't been downtown in a while, if you haven't wandered through the stores, come down before you visit that big box store. Come down and see what your neighbor is selling. Because one thing people forget is we don't have a chain downtown. We don't have one corporate chain in our downtown businesses. They are all locally owned small businesses who've really been hit, during COVID. If they were only closed for 6 weeks, they were lucky, which we have quite a few who were shuttered nearly 6 months. And we talk about the bars, because everybody knows that they really took a hit with, if they were 6 or 7 license holder, they were they were shackled for nearly 6 months. And then even when they were allowed to reopen, they were very limited in what they could do and their ability to re-recruit their clientele. But one thing people don't think about is our nonprofits that rely on volunteers. Many of their volunteers fall into those higher risk categories for COVID. And so they lost their volunteers. The Western Heritage Museum downtown was closed, not because it had to be, but because they couldn't find staff to open its doors. It did not have the volunteer staff to open its doors. So, just keep in mind what some of these businesses have been through this year when you're deciding where to spend your dollars this holiday season.
Excellent, excellent.
I am all over that part. That's for sure. I like that
Yes.
a lot. I like that a lot. MJ, you are amazing at what you do. Tell her, is Chef Sachs still involved in the food truck industry?
It is. With COVID, Paul kind of decided roadside was not worth, opening. We don't want it to cost money to open. So he's mainly been focusing on events. We were out at the Trump rally, a couple of weeks ago. He's been at all the downtown events. So you can still find him. He's just not as prevalent as he was before.
Talking about the peanut butter and jelly hamburger.
The bacon cheeseburger. Yeah, that's a favorite.
Okay, so I was thinking about it. Like the full-on burger was too much, but what if we had sliders, like White Castle sliders, peanut butter and jelly? I'm just
all right. So what's the name of this food truck?
Chef Shacks.
Chef. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
it's my husband's business, and San Martin was a regular customer when we were roadside all the time.
It was awesome. I'm seriously, I was talking about it yesterday. I was like, guys, you should hear about this. And they're like, what? So anyways, I really appreciate all that you're doing here, MJ. How can the Prescott Times be involved with you? How can people go ahead and step up and try to be involved? Tell us how to get a hold of you, what we could do to be supportive for the Downtown Business Partnership, and also
how to become a member. Everybody can become a member, right?
Yep. As long as you have an interest in Prescott downtown, if your business, it doesn't have to be located here, but it has to have an interest in the downtown community. Our website is prescottdowntown.com. You can find applications for membership. You can find applications for the Holiday Light Parade. We are still accepting entries, so that would be really helpful if you could let people know that we're still looking for businesses to participate in the Holiday Light Parade. And we extended the deadline for applications for that till November 13th. So, and it could be anyone. It could be a family group. It could be a club. It could be a youth sports team.
We talked about wrapping San Martin in lights and marching them down the parade route.
Perfect. I'll supply the batteries.
My beard, guys, this is going to be blinking some LED lights.
Yeah, and we give away about $2,000 in prize money. So, and really all you have to do to win is think lots of lights. Lots of lights is the way to go.
We've got lots of great comments, people that are supporting you, love everything you guys have got going on, love the local Prescott community. So just want to communicate lots of thank yous in the comments.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on today. It was fun chatting with you.
Jay, you are the bomb. Thank you so very much for joining us and keeping us up to date. Like, sincerely, thank you for all the emails. We try to get out all the information as possible. And once again, you guys can find that information on their website, or you can go ahead and come to the PrescottTimes.com, and that's where we actually flow our info. So thank you so very much. Eric, do we want to talk more? Can we top this? We only got 2 more minutes.
We got 2 more minutes. Is there any other news releases that came out in the last 24 hours that can make it in 2 minutes? 1 minute now.
You guys could go to the PrescottTimes.com to find all that out. I just want to let you guys all know what I'm going to be doing later. I'm going to a haunted house
Oh, that's today.
For me. I don't know if they're doing it for me personally, but if they are, they're going to go full board, because I already had messages sent to me saying, San Martin, you're going to get scared. And I'm like, what type of messery is this? You coming over here telling me I'm going to be scared?
What time's that going to be? Live stream, right?
Yeah, I'm going during the daytime, dusk time.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
This is the Dewey Haunted Creek experience. San Martin's going to be one of the first ones through it today.
Carnage. The Carnage Creek is what it's called, guys. If you guys don't know about it, you guys can also find that on the Prescott Times, and also go to the Carnage Creek Facebook page, and they will go ahead and tell you exactly what's happening, what times it's going to start, what times it's going to end. But at the same time, it looks like it's going to be scary. They've been throwing out little snippets of little stories of how their storyline is going, and it is just plain out scary. The guy who's running is morbid. I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry, bro. You're morbid. He's like loving this idea of just scaring the crap out of everybody, and it seems like the whole cast that was from the haunted house that we've had in the past years through M&M Entertainment. It seems like the cast is going over there to work with them. So it seems like it's going to be one of those types of things. So I'm hoping that I don't do anything in my pants when this happens, guys. I mean, I think I'm tough. I think I'm tough.
You're tough, but I'm excited to see that live stream. What time do you think we're going to be able to watch it?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna head out there at 5 p.m. to make sure that we have enough internet space. If not, then I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it. If it goes live, then it'll be around 5:36 p.m. And I think that's enough time for me to kind of like get into the darkness because the sun sets what at 5:30.
No, it's still like 6:15, 6:30.
That's summertime, man. That's summertime. We're at 5:30. Well, I don't know.
All right. Well, it's that time. Tell everybody how to like, follow, share, do your thing, and get us out of here.
Yes, most definitely. And once again, thank you, MJ. Thank you, Eric. If you guys want to find out any more information, please go to theprescotttimes.com and you will find out a lot of stuff that's going on. All the press releases are going on over there. If you don't hear it here first in the morning on our morning show, then you will be able to go to that place to find out all the stuff that's going on. And sometimes we don't cover everything. So you guys have to go back over there. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Parler. I don't know, anywhere else you want to follow us. Just go ahead and just pick a point, and then you'll be able to see what we're doing there. If you don't see us at somewhere, just let us know. I'll be there tomorrow. I promise. All right, guys. Peace, love, and happiness. Let it not be war. And remember, love always wins. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.